both can still get their hands on a Paquito, and both really want to get that lead early on. And Paquito very strong in the early game now. But that's not Paquito, that is Xborg.
Okay.
All in dive then, all in dive.
Yeah.
This is what you were talking about already, though, like the dive impact, right? I'm happy to say that at least the way we've been painting these two teams, there's Paquito, you mentioned too, you're going to see a lot of action, you know, and Martiz gets picked up to get thrown in the jungle. So now we know where things kind of fall into place here.
Leo, how you feeling about this? It's just all fight that we're seeing.
Oh, Sir Matt on the Matisse. Okay, something tells me that's a shortage of magic damage. They only have one good source of it. And that's the kind of damage that has to be set up well. I'm talking about the Phoveus. Interestingly enough, it looks like the fights that Omega want to take have to take a while. They're going to be engaging, disengaging, engaging, disengaging, and they'll wait until the last Insanity's gone. They're going to wait until the Blazing Duet's spent, or until they can confirm what Super Prince has off of the IMU. So with that said, one of the few strengths that Red Side has in this metagame is that last pick. And there is a almost instantaneous CC that they have in the Grok, in the hands of Escalera. One of the few roamers he actually played when he was still getting settled into being a roamer in the later half of Season 12. So now, with that said, we now have a divergence between two lineups, right? Omega wants to take it slow. Omega wants to take it punch after punch after punch. Onic, though, they want to go all in. Just one time, big time, power of nature, wild charge, last Insanity. We're out. If that doesn't work, then I don't know. Something else to note. It's the vision game for Onic is difficult.
Yes.
It's gonna come in through the El Clasico, walk into the bush, see if anyone's there.
Yeah. Yeah. Hope that the Grok can do
that
it.
Right? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
You're right.
No.
You know, and we've seen what happens in worst case scenarios for that, and sometimes it's not pretty. I think it was Wolf that mentioned like, hey, here's the key to it. Don't die before. I think it was like 2 minutes or 3 minutes or something like that. And so we'll see if that happens.
It's a condition for the Grok. I like the conditions laid out here. Leo, you mentioned Omega a little bit slower. They can fight. Can be a little bit more calculated. Onic, on the other hand, though, let's just fight. Welcome to game number 1 of week 2 of FPL Philippines Season 13. Again, Omega versus Onic, the grudge match of the season. And I don't recall Valentina hurting that much.
Yeah, that's a lot of hurt.
Yeah.
I was kind of
I want to
surprised
see
too.
the emblems. There it is. Okay, it's the usual Magic custom emblem on Super Prince. So I'm guessing it's just the sheer amount of damage that Ryle took. And I guess that's the one weakness that this lineup has from Omega. Early on, until they find that window wherein they're able to fight for longer, then that's when it's going to matter. So again, there is a small window of time for Onic. I'd say the first 5 or 6 minutes. Wherein it's 50-50. It's a close fight wherein the damage matters still. Here we go. One more time.
Yeah, but I mean, there they go, right? They're going to go ahead and play around having that Matilda kit available to them, and I guess that's why he can do that. Also, he's rocking the Vengeance, so he has that for a little more durability later on. But, you know, so far, pretty standard stuff until that first objective comes up with the turtle.
Yeah.
Real quick, I got to throw back, gentlemen. I think it was Season 8 or Season 9, where in mid, it was Etomax, the coach of Onic, that actually played a mid Phoveus as well, the first of a few that we've seen.
Was it
in
Season
history.
8?
Yeah.
I think I was casting that game. I think that was one of my first casts.
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So, feels like that's 2 weeks now where... Oh, wait, no. That's Onic. Yeah, no, I get you. I was supposed to say, like, Etomax passing on his knowledge to the younger generation.
Now it's on the other side.
But he's on the other side.
He sees it.
Again, still weird to say that Etomax is with Onic and not Barangay Omega, but now the turtle has spawned. Nolan, not anywhere close. Omega, though, they seem like they're in better position here, Naisu.
Okay, Escalera's going to go start up. The bottom side, though, Jim, luckily has the armor, so they're going to take it slow and steady for now, but Escalera doesn't have the level 4 just yet, so no wild charge available.
Yeah.
And so you're going to see the rotation on top, by the way. They don't even want to deal with this. They're going to just give it up to Smart Omega. It looks like as Matt works on it, they want to take his purple instead. So Escalera provides the information, flickers out, and that'll be the objective taken here for Smart Omega.
All right, it looks like Mark actually saw that and goes ahead and reports to Sir Matt, hey, they took your purple, what are you going to do about it? And there's not much that Omega can do. Again, it was a clear trade. It was a clean trade.
Yeah, I thought they'd actually try and go for the purple buff steal onto the Nolan just to even things out.
But Matt spent his red tree.
Matt spent his red tree, and you can see the hesitation because we also saw it in other regions. Grox have been using the Guardian's Barrier to steal away objectives, so it feels like he's playing safe. Items, anything noteworthy here?
I like how Ryle is building up towards an early COD, and so far everything is up to the ordinary. Nothing out. And again, 3 minutes in, no deaths. Both teams just watching their guard. I did not see that coming. Early Haas claws. All right, that's a build-up I did not notice.
Under the Bruno.
Yeah, he wants to, again, outlast the Claude in lane, I guess.
Yeah.
The difference between the Brave Smite and the Quantum Charge.
Yeah, and I think maybe that's also why he went for the Master Assassin instead of the Weapons Master. Because based on the rotations I'm seeing, Omega just wants to dead lane both sides. Maybe just a little bit pressure onto Gem, but they just want to control around the mid.
Again, the dead lane situation is because they want to expedite the mid game. They want to be able to build up to the point where Onic is going to struggle to find the burst window. So if they do that, then they go into this situation where, all right, it's now an endurance battle. You have ults to spend, but we have basic attacks to dish out. What you going to do, fam? So with that said, I think he's building up to...
Which one?
Could be anything. For West, he's built
that
for
looks like an EOB.
Sustainability, yeah.
Oh, sorry, EB, Endless Battle.
Yeah, Endless Battle or, I don't know.
Thunderbolt? No.
No, there's no reason for that. So he's building up towards sustainability is what I'm saying.
Okay.
At least he wants to stay in the lane longer than Kelra.
I think which is kind of goes to part with what we were saying, right? Like, their lineup takes a little more finesse to pull off here. So with that, they're going to work with the second turtle. This time around, though, I expect Onic Philippines to do something here. Super Friend's going to get spotted out in that bush, but they can't even get the positioning they're looking for. And again, King Kong not even a part of that, so they give it up. Maybe this is the game plan, right? Just try to find a pick-off where you can and give up these turtles for now.
It's another trade. Earlier it was Grand Theft Purple for King Kong, now it's Grand Theft Orange. And again, Reptar, you mentioned Omega's playing in the lanes, right? Onic is finding the other window. They're playing in the jungle. So far, they're trying to keep this lead smaller now. 500 gold between them with a turtle all clean for Omega. This is best case scenario for Onic.
I think what I'm also feel from Onic is that there's really just watching out for the potential of Marta Snowball. We've seen it time and time again. If you're not careful, you're just going to get decimated. A decimate chain, and the next thing you know, they're going to snowball. So they're taking the fights away from Omega, the fights Omega want to have. But is it a little bit too passive? Do they need to be a little bit more aggressive here, Onic?
I think they can both afford to do this, especially since we wrap up 6 minutes.
They're going to be forced. At least, okay.
I thought so too.
I thought, you know, if nothing, they at least get the turret there. Smart Omega, first one on the board for the turrets. But yeah, still, it looks like that's the case here, guys.
I think Onic is playing with the fact that they studied Omega's past games, and they know that Omega can't ramp up into a winning position as fast as they hope to. That's how Omega fell against Echo last weekend, where they had a clear lead, and then suddenly they did not notice that there was one lane getting beat up, and it's over from there. Lewis in trouble.
Another flicker going to come through, already fracture. Last Insanity popped as well. Rest of the team now making their way. Gem has the immortality, though. Escalera should be in there in time, too. But nothing still. No team is 6.5 minutes in. No one has gotten that first blood yet.
It sort of feels like I'm watching two teams play this like a real-time strategy game, just managing the resources. It's a command and conquer. We're just waiting for red alert.
I'm thinking turn-based strategy, RPG.
Oh, more like that, yeah.
Fire Emblem. All right, confirmed.
Never played it.
He built Demon Shoes. All right, so it definitely is about sustainability. Did not bring it all the way to the end like an EB. So clear. I think he's going towards crit. Berserker's Fury.
Berserker's Fury.
Yes.
Yeah, after that.
EB to BF.
Makes a lot of sense. Let's see. It's nice who can finally go all out with play-by-play. Well, we're finally going to be a big fight here.
Give this man
7 minutes in. Let's see if it happens. King Kong waiting patiently in that bush. He's going to call it off. So Turtle's going to reset. Rest of the Onic, again, they're just kind of waiting, right? He's going to go ahead and get the orange buff. Luis there as well. Gem going to take the brunt of the damage. Circling Eel comes down. Has to use the last Insanity. But once again, it's going to be objective in the mid lane, though. West will be the one to fall. The objective taken by Matt. Finally, one of the teams gets on the board here. But still, Smart Omega holding on to a small lead. This could be an opportunity for Onic Philippines to make a move as King Kong gets in position.
That seems like classic Escalera. Just when you don't expect him to wild charge you, he will. And it was because of him that they were able to finally land that kill onto West. So it sort of evens out the farming process here.
Yeah, but it doesn't even out the map. There's still 2 first turrets taken by Omega and all turtles so far. And that's led to a 600 gold lead across the board. And I'd say a majority of the lead going on in mid and in XP. Yep. About 300 for one, and then 600 in the other, just across, given that Sir Matt is actually farming slower than King Kong. This is odd. Earlier we talked about how King Kong is now being a role player. Now he wants to actually play cleanup, and the farm is being spread out between him and Kelra. I'm waiting for that to snap. Ryle in trouble.
Ryle in trouble. Pops of Vengeance into the Demonic Force
Whoa.
and gets out of dodge just fine with that guiding wind. So, hold on. Matt could be in trouble now. Goes in with a Mortal Coil. He's fine. This is the story so far with the lineups.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier, man. Like, all right, we're going to expect a lot of action from Onic Philippines. It has been completely opposite of that, where they have struggled to really find those moments.
And it's not because they're hesitating. They're both finding a position or finding a fight where they will win, and both teams are all the smarter to say, no, we're not going to win this. Let's back out. And that last fight wherein it was West drawn first blood on by Onic, kill going off to Kelra, the best case scenario for the Hedgehogs, or rather the Porcupines. That's one of the fights wherein Omega was forced to say, you know what, this is worth it. For the turtle, for the 2 turrets, West, take the L. So that's where we are now, that's where we're sitting. We're waiting for these fights to break out, and I understand, Joseph, how ironic and how stressful it is that why are there no fighting?
It's okay. It's about to happen, right? This is Lord now. You can give up the turtles if you want to. We've seen teams do that before. But this is where the time that all this farming, all this kind of feeling the area out here, they have to pull something through with this.
Yeah, we grew up in the Philippines, gentlemen. We were raised with the adage of never give up on the Lord. Onic now. Let's see. And I understand the approach of these 2 teams. There is such a high chance that both of them will get punished extremely badly that you really have to be careful who gets his Lord.
See if they pull it off. Marked quite in trouble. Malefic Aurora being picked up mid-fight 2 with Ryle going, forcing Super Prince back. Comes the Vengeance. There's the wild charge, though. Still going to be up for now. A couple hits away and he'll fall. And then Onic still finds the kill. Can they find another? It's marked. That goes down in the brush in the mid lane. Now their eyes going to be set on this objective, the Lord here for the taking, as 2 members of Smart Omega are down.
This is literally Onic PH saying, you want to take this outside? And indeed they did. There was a dance waiting to happen, and Onic said, let's take this outside, just out of the Lord pit. And that's where they did so much better. And I love their coordination, their communication, saying nobody dash, Riley's in the air, nobody dash. And that's what put Onic ahead here. They're ahead almost 2,000 gold, scored the bigger objective compared to the 3 that Omega have scored so far 11 minutes in, and they're still leading in kills. So now we're just going to wait until the map actually opens up. It's happened again. It's the Onic snap. Yeah. Onic has bought their time, denied all the fights early on wherein Omega was clearly going to try to be aggressive, and now they're ahead.
From barangay timers last season for Kelra, Etomax, and Why Not, they are now teaching Onic time.
Oh, it's Onic time. How did I miss that?
Yeah, it's Onic time, fam. And really, it's one of the facts of MLBB, ladies and gentlemen, where the longer the game goes without a fight, the first big fight that happens where at least 2 heroes are down, it's going to be devastating. And that's exactly what happened here for Omega. In just, as you mentioned, Leo, a snap, Onic are in the lead.
Yeah, look at this. They're already playing around. With that snap, nearly a 4K gold lead. They're going to get more turrets around here too.
Yes.
So with that, they've pretty much positioned themselves to be in a great position to fight now anytime they want. They control the pace at this point in the game. And even with that, there's the concealed play. Escalera waiting for a zone, a wild charge.
Wow.
Lewis going to be there, but look at Matt. Gets taken down to half health. They're going to keep them at bay, though, from entering the base any further. But bottom side, Kelra was there pushing in as he got that base turret.
That's how huge of a threat the gold standard is, now barreling forward in net worth, about 1,500 gold ahead of his lane mate West. Something else to note, the fact that so far, off of 1 team fight win, off of 1 turret, I believe this might be a record gain in terms of Lord gold gains after that first one.
Yep.
They've barreled over 4,000. I don't know if 5,000! That might be the biggest in season 13 so far.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Usually we see those big swings, maybe second, maybe third, Lord.
Yeah.
But the very first one,
That's big
Yeah.
gold.
And the average is
gold.
2,000 to 3,000.
Yeah.
So,
It's-
but now Onic broke that.
Which begs the question, right? Like, again, they knew that let's give up those turtles. We don't need them because we're hoping for that play that they made, especially leading in that first Lord, and they've done that. So now they can continue this pressure, especially since they did work. Kelra did work there on the bottom side with Lord less than 30 seconds away here.
now let's see how Onic will handle the siege. Funnily enough, since both teams are very dive heavy, not really ranged and poke, outside of the marksman, of course, I feel like there could be a chance that Omega might turn things around under the base turret, but unless King Kong.
Oh.
Oh, March goes in, has to flicker out too, so already putting the pressure there. He does not have that now for this Lord, so they have no choice except to defend, most likely. But Matt still wants to get some vision here if he can, but it's going to be too late. Look how fast the Lord is taken care of from King Kong. Well, the rest of the team doesn't even get space in the jungle to work with.
Straight up scene from Godzilla 2014, King Kong versus the Lord. And now,
Oh, they're going to go for it, actually. So already pushing them back. Vengeance was used. What a great barrier there.
Yeah.
Coming through from Escalera.
this net lead by Onic in gold is just forcing Omega to spend ults and resources out of nowhere, and it's costing them. It's not like they have great wave clear too. This is something that we failed to mention. I personally failed to mention because usually it's something that you have to watch out for. They suck at clearing waves.
Yeah.
It's super difficult to defend against this enhanced Lord.
Yeah,
Well-
they have put themselves in danger to clear up waves, but Onic, can they end it here? Will they try to?
14, almost the 15-minute mark here. They're going to go for it again. The damage comes through from Luis. He does survive. Base fully exposed here. Lord's still going to be worked on. Does Onic Philippines have enough lead to push it in? Enough confidence to end the game here at this mark. They can't break through just yet. Another wave going to be pushing down the mid lane. And Smart Omega hold it together. They bob, they weave on through. Gem holding that front line alongside Escalera. King Kong with the damage. Gets Ryle quite low. He has to go heal up. Still putting the pressure. They're holding it down the front. The base is going to be worked on. Half health though. And they still hold on.
Still.
Onic Philippines does not want to commit just yet. They're feeling things out. Smart Omega waiting as well. Matt takes the brunt of the damage. There's Demonic Force with the vengeance. They
Bang.
come down, but Mark is out. Matt has to go back. Kelra on the run. Wild Charge keeps Ryle in the air. Taking some shots here now as Kelra gets us situated on the backside. They can't get Ryle just yet. Then Onic Philippines has to run as Matt decides to go back. What a defense from Smart Omega.
Just hold on, we're staying home. Omega did their best, and they came out actually still alive. Again, base here under half health. But the fact that they focus on the minions mattered, given that they have, again, abysmal wave clear. And the discipline coming in from Omega, having seen Mark died, it's so easy for a lesser player like someone that's not Sir Matt to actually come in and say, I'm going to decimate him, I'm going to kill him, because he saw several members of Onic actually low. But the fact that he said, you know what, this is a defensive position, we have to respect the fact that Onic are ahead almost 10k, let's not, and that actually buys them another Lord, buys them more time. That was actually as good a defense as it gets for a team as behind as Omega.
Yeah, again, two lineups with very similar principles. They both have not so great wave clear. It's risky wave clear. I like the word that you used, abysmal.
Abysmal.
They both have to put themselves in danger, but that means Onic will really put themselves at risk of having this game turned around in their faces, while Omega have to be so calculated and maximize everything they have in their ability kits just to pull off a defense.
If anything, Omega's only chance really is inside their base, not until they close this gold gap. And they can only really close this gold gap if they defend against this last Lord here. This is their last chance to defend. If they survive this, then they're fine. I don't know if they're going to be able to steal,
Yeah.
and they've already spent quite a few ults.
Look at that.
Ryle?
It's going to reset, though. Ryle could be in trouble. Already using the vengeance here. He's going to be taken down by Super Prince. And Onic Philippines decides to just go ahead and crash down on the retreating Smart Omega. And you can see that. They're going to go ahead and give the go for that Lord. At least secure that. They got Ryle down. But he should be back up by the time they get to this defense.
Leo, that sort of looked like Omega not sure if they wanted to fight that or not.
Yeah, or also, it's possible that they weren't even really planning on fighting, and Ryle caught himself in a position where he had no choice. Given that this is a Phoveus with a vengeance, and that's the only other choice you have. You fight or you die. And he was in a position where he only really had fight as an option. So with that said now, again, Joseph just on point here. 1-0. There's Ryle.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to defend, but I don't know how good it is against a Lord this big.
Let's see if they can do it once again. Holding it at bay there in the mid lane. Ryle jumps in, doing what he can to keep them there. Matt, though, getting quite low already. Luis goes in for King Kong, but the base is going to be taken out in a second there as game one goes to Onic Philippines.
Two lineups that love to fight, love to dive. It was Onic who found their time, and Omega not being able to survive any longer after that Lord. Leo, I really want to get what you feel, what you're thinking about this, because I feel like now I've grasped what these two teams wanted. High risk, high reward.
And they've actually reeled back on it. Week one, they actually inserted and injected their own meta in